Hello everyone, this is Defense Politics Asia and this is the Frontline Changes report for the past 2 days for the 16th to the 17th of February. And yesterday didn't manage to do any video and the whole Ukraine war just went to shit. Like the kind of changes is like, wow, quite shocking. So anyway, we're gonna go to the from the clockwise direction as usual. We start off with Kursk. Over at the Kursk front, we have a geolocation of Ukrainian forces right here, in this very position. It's right in this previous this pocket of potential Russian forces that is here. The fact that Ukrainian forces are here, I decided to just eliminate this entire thing. I don't think the Russians are there anymore. So that's the end of the Malaya Lognia Russian presence, because it just don't make sense to be there at the first place anyway. So after this Kursk, and this is the only capture by the Ukrainian side, we go into Voreshna front. At the Voreshna front, the Russian Defense Ministry has announced the capture of Vyholevka. And nearby, the Ukrainian mapping have mapped that the Russian forces have taken this chunk of area, which mainly is this tree line around here, and of course this cliffy thing here. So Russian forces advance in the eastern part of Vyholivka or north of Novosilka, signifying some major advancement. And the fact that the Russian Defense Ministry announced the capture of Vyholivka thus means that there is some greater movement in this area here that is still not captured just yet. Yeah, definitely this bridgehead is getting a bit ridiculous. Yeah, so this is a very important development in this sector. After Novosilka, we go to all the way to Thorax front. So just now we were at this front line here, very far away. So now we're going to go down to here at Thorax. So in the Thorax front, we have a lot of frontline changes around this sector. We have Novopaske, Leonidivka, this field. This I already mentioned in the previous frontline changes report, because I haven't done the sit rep, so this is still on the same mapping. So Russian forces have been geolocated in Novopaske or Petrivka, and another one over in the southwest of Leonidivka. So what it does means is that at the Novopaske or Petrivka, Russian forces geolocated here means that they have advanced at least from the eastern part westward. But the fact that they are here and they have all these positions around in the north of this in the east of Novopaske, does suggest that everything else south all the way to Leonidivka is unlikely to be under Ukrainian control, because there's a high chance that the Russians have full control around all this sector, which only makes sense. So I have decided to invalidate all Ukrainian claims at Leonidivka and give the capture of Leonidivka to the Russians. So this is a frontline change around here. This was already marked in the previous frontline changes where the Russian forces have been advancing in Skibinivka, although tentatively is said to be from the east, but there is a potential that we might invalidate Ukrainian claims all the way down south at Shibinivka that leads all the way down to Nelipivka, which is on its own ridiculous. I don't think this is reality. Southwest of Leonidivka, Russian forces have captured this forest line and some entrenchment around the southwest. Is a further expansion of the Russian positions from the Leonidivka sector, moving westward. So these are the frontline changes around here. This stretch here is around 600 meters, so it's not a small advancement. These are all very big developments. I'm not sure. It feels like the frontline changes is getting a little bit more. I wonder if it has something to do with the Trump and Putin talk, which may discourage the Ukrainian soldiers from dying before the peace comes. I'm not sure, but at the end when we do the calculation of the total area captured, we maybe will get a better sense. But tentatively, on average, it's around 10 square kilometers plus captured by the Russians on the daily basis. So after Leonidivka, we jump all the way to the Pokrov front. Over at Pischani, Russian forces has been geolocated in the north of this mining facility, and they have similarly counter-attacked and retaken some grounds around here. This is not indication of the recapture of the residential area yet. So this is just at least a presence that the Russians are seemingly doing some kind of counter at Pischani. The next frontline change is at Stripney. So just now we were at Pischani, so now we go to Stripney over here. Over at Stripney, this is the frontline change here. This was already marked previously in the previous update. The latest mapping from the Ukrainian mapping have shown that the Russian forces have fully captured Stripney. The rest of the northern part of Stripney has been taken by the Russian forces, and so this resulted in the Ukrainians claiming the Russian forces captured Stripney. So this is the frontline change at Stripney in the southern flank of the Pokrov front. After Stripney, the next is at Yasinove. So in the Ukrainian Deep State UA's reporting, there's one post. They marked that the Russian forces has appeared here in an attack. So the Russians apparently attacked this way. They mark that they are geolocated here. However, in their mapping, they put it as a gray zone. As usual, when they mark it as a gray zone, there's a possibility that the Russians has been there, or maybe they are not there. Nobody knows. So but in DPS mapping, as long as they are geolocated in a certain place, is considered captured until the Ukrainians retake their position. So that's just how I map it. And the Russian forces basically have made some advance in the southwest of Yasinove. So that's the frontline change. The distance moved is around 1 kilometer. So this is actually not quite a big place. I mean, big movement, not really tiny, but all these farms are ridiculously big. It's no wonder Ukraine is also known as one of the breadbasket for the world, because these fields are just ridiculously huge. So after Yasinove, the next frontline change is at Andriivka. So the latest mapping is getting more ridiculous. So there is Russian forces geolocated here. The Ukrainians map that the Russians have advanced up this tree line, and they have started to draw the cross around here from their previous point where the Russian forces have advanced. So this is very Christian-y, and also very graveyard-ish. Anyway, so the fact that these are all the movements in the past 24 to 48 hours is crazy, which means that the Ukrainian forces is now on the verge of full encirclement within Andriivka itself, if this mapping is to be believed, and the Russian forces could easily close off this entire area very, very quickly. The distance between the two confirmed captured positions is around 1.2 kilometers. It's not that big, but of course this is a bit weird of a mapping. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but yeah, this is the current situation here. So of importance is this is a geolocation. So this geolocation allows us to just map this much more confidently. These are all Ukrainian claims, so Ukrainian mappings. So yeah, I have not much to say. This is just a bit weird. Like this is the weirdest mapping ever. This looks super weird. So this looks like a very cartoonish dragon. If you know, this is like the eyes. Then this is like the nose. Like this is like a dragon. Like yeah, I don't know. This is just yeah. So anyway, that's it. This is previous mentioned already. Yeah, so this is just a dragon. Yeah. So over in Dachny, Ukrainian mapping have mapped that the Russian forces have taken this entire impossible salient north of Dachny. They have confirmed that the Russians have advanced from Stary Turny and Shevchenko down along the Voschar River in the north of Dachny. So we are left with just this little bit here before we can confirm the full capture of Dachny. So this is the update here in the north of Dachny. And after that, we have some crazy mapping around at Ulakly. So So previously we have mapped this llama in our previous mapping. Then further information have came up. So geolocation of Russian forces added a hump to this llama's back, and the Ukrainian mapping have updated that the Russian basically has stormed and taken all of the southern part of Ulakly. Basically, this means that the Ukrainian forces basically have totally abandoned the position. The speed of the advance is just too big. And this makes me doubt there's any more Ukrainian troops around this pocket. I don't think there's any more troops here. I think the Russians is just going to just walk through and basically clear the position, defending themselves from booby traps and mines, and they'll just take the whole salient. I think this Ulakly salient or the pocket or whatever you want to call it is gone. I think it's over. The battle for Ulakly is pretty much at the end. I don't think the Ukrainians are defending this area. It's just impossible. The fact that the advance is so quickly means it's already over. And the fact that the Russians are here means the retreat route is already under fire control. From this position, 400 meters is the effective range of rifles. It already covers basically all of these retreat positions, unless they're going to walk around along the river, which will be covered by FPV drones. So I think Ulakly is gone. And then the next battle is going to be the battle for Constantinople, which is over here. So this is definitely as good as gone, but these are the frontline changes. Huge frontline change. So this itself, you see, this advance it could be 2.7 kilometers, and to the other position is around 1.2 or 1.3 kilometers. So this is already huge capture in a single day of mapping. So that's the frontline change over at Ulakly. After Ulakly, Constantinople, as I mentioned, is starting to have advancement. Russian forces have been geolocated in the north of the previous known position, and they are now about to storm into Constantinople. The distance moved by the Russian forces is around 800 meters. So massive advance in this sector. After Constantinople, the next frontline change, we go to the Velika Novosilka front. This is at Ocharituvatte. So we have the electric guitar we have mapped it previously. There's a new geolocation confirming Russian presence, and this leads me to map that the rest of the territory east of the Mokriali River is now under Russian control. So this confirms that electric guitar is no longer a guitar, but definitely confirms that the Russians is now starting the battle for Novo Ocharivate. So that's noted. And then the other frontline change is that Privilne. Okay, is this one, and this one. So this is the latest advancement in this sector. So let's focus one by one. So south of Bulatsky, Russian forces have been mapped by the Ukrainian mapping to have advanced northward in the possible direction towards Privilne or towards Bulatsky. It could go both ways depending on where they go. They definitely have somewhat crossed some kind of a major choke point, and they are going to go up north. So that's one. The distance travel, let me see. So this is by Deep State, as I noted. The distance travel is around 1.5 kilometers, so pretty big. The other frontline change is based on this geolocation. Russian forces basically appeared in the southern part of Novosilka. This is a shock because this is a huge movement. So let me measure. This is 2.7 kilometers from the nearest front line. It's a sudden appearance of Russian forces in this area, which means the Ukrainian forces may have abandoned the defense of anything south of this river towards Novosilka. And Ukrainian mapping has this pro-Russian mapping have mapped that the line is more straighter than how I have mapped it. And basically the Russian forces have attacked into Novosilka in a major way. Massive attack by the Russian forces, and everything is now taken by the Russian forces over here. So these are all the frontline changes over here. We will do some calculation in the total area captured. Oops, wrong box. this is the total area. The biggest capture is Velika Novosilka because of this massive captures in these two regions here, particularly Novosilka. This box alone is 5.87 square kilometers, which is already bigger than most stuff. So this is a huge capture. That's why I say this is a shock to me that the Russian forces suddenly appear in the south of Novosilka. This is basically they have already entered into Novosilka itself. So this is quite amazing. The next biggest is at the Andrievka because of the collapse of Ulakly as well as the collapse of the north of Dashne. So these combines actually contributed to massive changes. So let's do some calculation. Ukrainians, so the Ukrainians have the curse, the Ukrainians have the one capture is over at the Malaya Loknia, and this is not even a capture per se. This is more like a correction. So so let me do some so at this thing. So Ukrainian total capture is 0.57 square kilometers. So let's count the Russian ones. So there's only 5 front lines that actually saw changes. So but is no nevertheless. So okay. So this is 1.46 plus 1.52 plus 2.16 plus 8.16 plus 9.22. So total area capture is 22.52 square kilometers for 2 days. So generally, it's not really faster. So as much as I felt like it's faster, it's actually not faster. It's still more or less at the same pace where the Russians has been capturing grounds across Ukraine. But of course, if you look at specific fronts, certain place does look super fast. So anyway, so this is the entire frontline changes report for the past 48 hours for the 16th to 17th of February, day 1087 to 1088. So thank you for watching. Do press the like button, subscribe, and yeah, subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next update.